penalty flag. A false start on the Trojans. Still got 9:43 left to play here in the first half. I'll tell you one thing, partner, that both these teams are probably talking about turnovers and penalty flags in the locker room.
Can almost guarantee that from both of these head coaches.
Say first down and 15. Nowhere to go, pressure coming, and he's gonna roll out to his right, nobody home. Trying to hook up with Markel Bass.
Bass had nothing but room in front of him. The throw was just a little bit over his head as number 14 for the Trojans, Anir Carr, getting pressured by the Eagles defenders.
It's going to bring up third down and long for North College Hill.
Another time to open up the playbook. We'll see what they dial up.
Carr drops back. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield. Nice tackle by number 1, I believe, who was able to get to him first. That was Juwan Johnson, who wrapped him up. Take a look at the replay. He just came right off that right block.
North College Hill almost tried to chip there with Jeremy Price while he was in the backfield. That was a bootleg to the left, and Mr. Johnson said, "No, sir, I'll take that."
Trojans will punt.
Last time they did try to punt, there was a fumble on the exchange from the long snapper to the punter. See what happens on this one as punter for North College Hill is at his own 6-yard line.
Just barely gets it away. And North College Hill will down it at the 49-yard line on their side of the field. So Middletown Christian again with good field position. That's going to be something that we're going to talk about coming out of the half here, because both teams have given the other team chances, and it's like the drives have just stalled, whether it be penalties, turnovers, kind of officials timeout.
Completely agree with you, Kyle, and unfortunately for Middletown Christian, fortunately for Middletown Christian, they deferred to start out the game, so they'll get the ball in the second half. So possibly try to cash in. It's early in the clock still with 8:20 remaining, but you almost got to wonder if you're Coach Wells, if you're going to try to cash in for a 2-for-1 opportunity. We'll see what they play with the time, with most of their offense being on the ground.
I believe this official's timeout was a water break, so both teams basically get a free timeout here. It's a hot, sticky night around the tri-state. Kyle Evans alongside Patrick Ray, our entire ICRC crew. Everyone sweating out there that's running a camera. We appreciate all their hard work. North College Hill cheerleaders really getting into it tonight. Saw you jamming over there earlier.
Getting me amped, getting me ready to play some football.
Probably a little bit different being up here than being out there.
It's a little bit different, but different's not always a bad thing, Kyle, you know.
The Eagles will take over at the 49-yard line.
North College Hill pressuring the ball.
Going to hand it off. And Billington chugs his way forward for a gain of, we'll say, 6 or so. He's been busy tonight. We talked about that in the pregame about how both these teams are going to play a lot of play two ways, being a smaller school. So Billington really keeping the legs chugging on that drive. Second down and we'll say 4 for the Eagles.
See if the Eagles come out with the approach with the remaining time in the second half, or in this first half, excuse me, the second quarter, with if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and keep giving Billington the ball.
The Eagles are going to hand it off again. Guess who? This time it wasn't Billington. For the Eagles, it was number 34.
Logan Mason.
So Mason getting in on the action. Surprised what you've seen so far that Middletown Christian doesn't want to start opening up the playbook and maybe pass?
You know, it's still a tight game here, only down one score, excuse me. And if you're Middletown Christian, I think you just got to keep being patient with it. You got a lot of time remaining still in the second quarter to keep the ground and pound strategy, and their offensive line is getting good movement for Billington and company to keep getting the yardage that they need to pick up this first down, but this third down is crucial.
See if they're able to pick it up. Spinning through Trojans and coming very close, and I believe he got it where the near side official has it spotted. If not, it's right at the line. And they're going to say 4th and inches. So they're going to say that they got to get to the 40-yard line, and they're going to say it's at like the 39 and 9/8. So big play right here.
This is a no-brainer go for it for Coach Wells and company. And the Eagles, I think I would be shocked if they don't give Billington the ball up the middle and just try to get that extra yard. QB sneak, too. They've done that in the past.
They're going to hand it off. Billington has it, and a flag flies. Chris Wells is absolutely electric on that sideline. And another flag flies in after the play. So both the teams have to be separated momentarily. We'll see what the first marker was. The second marker is going to be a unsportsmanlike penalty, most likely against the Trojans.
The first penalty, I believe, was illegal formation by the Eagles. They had too many men in motion when the ball was snapped.
So both teams will go to their sideline. We have the opportunity to take another look at it.
Number 4 being in motion when the ball snapped, and that's when you can see the far side official throw the first penalty flag and extracurriculars after.
It looks like Middletown Christian might have given the first push there.
I think both penalties are going to go against Middletown Christian. Would be a 20-yard loss. That's big on 4th down.
So instead of 4th and inches, they're going to bring it all the way back to the 40-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down and 20.
There's no better time to either punt the ball after Coach Wells or open up the playbook here. I mean, they haven't run the ball for 20 yards all game, and maybe they start getting the big yardage on the rushes now, but we'll see what happens if you're Coach Wells. I wouldn't be surprised to bring out the punt team here.
Just under 6 minutes left to play in our first quarter. Back and forth trench war between these two opponents as they try to grind out a week 2 win. Eagles will punt. Low snap through the hands of number 22. We've seen this before. He gets away, and he's going to run out of bounds, hit hard at about the 23, 24-yard line. But that's where North College Hill will set up shop, basically right on the doorstep of the red zone. We've seen that twice tonight, where the miscommunication between Peyton Brown and his snapper, a low snap, nowhere to go, basically did the best he could in that situation.
It's a tough situation there, because if you throw the ball, you're going to get a penalty for an illegal man downfield, because all the linemen up front are assuming it's a punt, and you just try to run it and hope you can find some room on your near sideline, and don't get any of that room due to the swarm of Trojan defenders trying to block the punt. North College Hill winning the field position battle greatly in this first half.
It's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. correction, the 24. Now an official on the near side will signal North College Hill will take their second timeout. So both teams will have a chance to regroup. We're looking for volunteers interested in broadcasting, looking for an internship, or you want hours, come out and help ICRC-TV. Everything from sports to community, council meetings, all kinds of things. Great experience to get your foot in the door, and we need you. Contact Dean at ICRC-TV.com. Send him an email, or you can check out our website at ICRC-TV.com. Covering all kinds of communities around Cincinnati, North College Hill, one of our other communities just right down the road, Mount Healthy, covering some sports and council meetings in Mason, Sycamore, Milford, just to name a few. First and 10 for the Trojans. They're going to swing it over. He's going to break through, and down inside the 10, a late flag from the official in the backfield.
I believe that's going to be a block in the back on the wide receiver, trying to get a block for number 3 of the Trojans, Marquez Bat.
Actually, so they called a holding call on the Trojans.
It's pretty apparent when you're looking at the play, and one defender to beat, and he gets taken down from the back, and that's a pretty easy throw from the guys in stripes.
So North College Hill will back all the way up to the 36-yard line. Bring up second and long, 5.5 left to play until the half. Trojans looking to add on to their 6-0 lead. North College, or Middletown Christian, looking for something. Aarons fires it over, and that pass was incomplete, trying to hook up with Bass. Brings up second and long.
Tried to dial up that exact same play there. Now screen off to the near sideline to Markel Bass, and just a low pass from the quarterback for the Trojans, and it'll bring that up a long second down.
Starting to see some fatigue by both these teams, hands on their hips. You're going to see that a lot playing both ways. 3 receivers out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Carr is going to pitch it off and trying to turn the corner and breaking through. He's still on his feet. Multiple flags flies. He rolls inside the 10, inside the 15, I should say. And they're going to call a hold on North College Hill.
I really like that play design for North College Hill there. Just a little forward pitch pass to get to the yardage and just get to the edge and out-athlete Middletown Christian, excuse me. And that's what they did on that one. Unfortunately, got called back due to a hold.
So North College Hill's going the wrong direction as they get backed up all the way to the 47-yard line.
I'm sure going into halftime, both coaches will focus on the penalties that have hurt both of their teams. Coaches from North College Hill are telling their players to get to the other side of the field.
Carr triggers the motion, and that pass is incomplete. Trying to hook up with Bass, threw it right over his head, and
so this is an interesting ruling here. The pass was backwards for North College Hill, so it's going to be a fumble on the play technically. It's going to push him back another couple yards and an even longer third down here.
So it's third down and a mile for the Trojans. Ball spotted at the 48-yard line of North College Hill side of the field. Eagles are going to line up 3 receivers to the left. Carr takes the snap. Here comes the pressure. Nowhere to go, and he's hit hard and taken down. 2 Middletown Christian Eagles swarmed him. The first to get him there was number 32, Luke Craiglow. And now it'll bring up 4th down. And North College Hill forced to punt. Here's the Eagles bringing the pressure. Hit him hard. Number 10 also got in there too, Quentin Harris.
Number 1, Johnson was in there as well. He's had a very good night defensively for this Middletown Christian Eagles defense.
So the Trojans will punt. North College Hill's had the better luck on their side tonight when it comes to the punting unit coming out.
I do. I'm enjoying it. So my arms are, I may not want to get down with it.
Official timeout, looking like fixing a helmet for one of the Middletown Christian players, keeping everybody safe on the field tonight.
Braylon South back deep for the Eagles. Here comes the pressure. Punt's kicked away, and it's going to die right around the 33-yard line. So North College Hill flips the field to their advantage somewhat, and now Middletown Christian will have a chance to potentially, you would think, potentially try to run out the clock on the end of the half and put up some kind of points, whether that's a field goal or a touchdown.
3:23 remaining in the half, and you have nothing to lose if you're Coach Wells and the Eagles, and you're just trying to put some points on the board, keep yourself in the game. Even though it's only a 1-score game, this score here could switch momentum to their side and give them a boost going into halftime.
So 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Billington has it. Actually, they're going to take him down the backfield. Quarterback held on to it a little too long. Billington was the quarterback. Now they have number 36 in white and blue in there for Chris Wells' team. That is Carson Wells.
Middletown Christians won the battle up front when the ball's been on the ground. Other than that, there's not much pass protection in there for Wells and his backfield to get the ball off.
2nd and 15, we'll call it, as we inch closer to halftime. You're on a later kickoff here for week 2. Wells, this time Wells is actually going to receive the handoff and maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 11. Middletown Christian all out of timeouts. .220 on the clock.
Logan Mason got the handoff on that one. Wells, number 36, has been their play caller for the most of the night, coming into the huddle for the Eagles, trying to dial something up here on 3rd and 11.
Under 2 to play. See what Chris Wells draws up. Carson Wells is in motion. They're going to throw it, and the pass is complete for a 1st down. A late penalty flag thrown in from the side official. And he's pointing towards North College Hill.
Called a holding on the pass, on the defender, excuse me. That's going to tack on an extra 10.
So with 1:38 left to play in our first half. Take another look at the pass. And the flag comes in late.
I believe the flag was on number 3, Markel Batts, senior for the Trojans.
So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Minute 38 left to play. Carson Wells back to the ground game. Going nowhere. Tackle made on the play by Dominic Garrison. And if you're Middletown Christian, starting to get in that hurry up type of scenario here as we approach the final 60+ seconds, you're out of timeouts.
Be interesting what the hurry up looks like for this Middletown Christian team. Wells has been running off to the sideline to talk to the offensive coordinator for the Eagles every play to get the play in. And it's probably taken them 10 or 15 seconds to get the play onto the line of scrimmage and even snap the ball.
Wells going to roll out to the right, avoids a tackle, ball comes out, North College Hill has it. Carson Wells took a huge hit. Dominic Garrison, we just called his name on the defensive side of things. He's able to pick up the loose change, trying to help the official out there. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 for North College Hill. So the Trojans get another turnover, and he gets hit pretty hard right here.
That's a huge hit. Takes the first blow and breaks it, and then another Trojan defender comes low on him, hits him right in the thighs and draws the ball out. Picked up by a swarm of Trojan defenders, flipping the field on the good side of the 50 for the Trojans, as we're just under a minute to play in this first half.
So our Neil Carr going to come back out. By the way, we talked in our pregame about the amount of freshmen on this North College Hill roster. He's a freshman. Not looking like it tonight. Rolls out to his right, fires down the field, and incomplete, trying to hook up with Markel Bass.
Bass has been the go-to player for this Trojans team tonight, and that one just trying to run a little out route, get up about 5-yard game, trying to get the out route on the sideline, get out of bounds quick, and then get back to the line to call another play, but just pass a little bit too high for Mr. Bass.
41 seconds left until halftime. North College Hill on top 6-0. Touchdown came way back in the early stages of the first quarter. Second and 10. Bass is in motion, and they're going to hand it to him. A little trickery. Bass goes nowhere, swallowed up at the 50-yard line. Clock's going to continue to roll.
They called that same play earlier in this quarter. It got called back due to a hole. They tried the same thing to the opposite side, almost like a jet sweep in front to get the passing yards for the Trojans.
It looks like North College Hill, just when I thought that they were going to let the clock run out, I believe that is their last timeout. And now the officials on the near side saying that we're going to have to reset the clock. The clock has ticked down to 0. I believe there was about 14 seconds or so on the clock.
I'd say right around there, between 14 or 11 is our scoreboard has it. I mean, it's really close to 11, I believe. 13 is what the officials are calling it as. Be interesting to see what North College Hill dials up in this last 13 seconds. They don't have any timeouts. You'd think everything down the field has to get to the sideline to try to set up maybe a field goal opportunity, or else, unless you want to go all the way to the house, 50-yard pass maybe. I don't know what North College Hill is going to dial up. That would be by far the longest play of this game so far if they were able to convert on it.
Officials having still talking with the clock operator, trying to get the clock set to 14 seconds. It says 31 right now.
officials are yelling up to the scoreboard operator, trying to let them know.
When it's an area like this, normally the official would communicate to the coach. And I did see that North College Hill has radios instead of headsets. It's third down with 13 seconds left to play. Carr rolling out to his right. He's it way up in the air, and the pass is incomplete. Still 7 seconds left. It could have been a dangerous pass. It was almost intercepted by the Eagles.
The Trojans, excuse me, just try to dial up just a streak play on the near sideline. Ball was thrown up probably further in the air than it was lengthwise, but then again, tried to give his receiver a chance to catch it, and Markel Bass had a chance to come down with it and probably get out of bounds at about the 20, just unable to come down with it off the first contact from the Eagles.
So it'll bring up fourth down in about, we'll say 15, with 5 seconds left to play in our first half.
No reason to punt here if you're the Trojans. Got nothing to lose. Why not let it fly?
Carr claps his hands and takes the snap, fires to the far side, incomplete, and that'll take us to halftime. So 24 minutes in the books. We still have 24 minutes to play. We've reached halftime here at North College Hill High School with the Trojans on top of the Middletown Christian Eagles. We'll take a break, come back and get you ready for second half action. You're watching Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV.
On air or online, this is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game.
The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood. Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello, and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is the Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game. The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we go!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Coffee first, then I have to get those agendas out.
Lasagna tonight, chicken tomorrow. Do we still have potatoes?
Matthew's got a baseball practice at 6.
I should really do laundry tonight.
People with jobs, with families, with someplace to be. Let's help each other by safely sharing the road. Tri-State Trails, connecting what moves us.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game. The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we go!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved. Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure
love.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game. The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Coffee first, then I have to get those agendas out.
Lasagna tonight, chicken tomorrow. Do we still have potatoes?
Matthew's got a baseball practice at 6.
I should really do laundry tonight.
People with jobs, with families, with someplace to be. Let's help each other by safely sharing the road. Tri-State Trails, connecting what moves us.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game. The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is the Unit 1 crew from One Long Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We had this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet,
we discover
they're a little bit of a lot of things,
but they're all pure love.
On air or online. This is media for your community. This is ICRC-TV.
There's no better feeling than to be a part of a fire department. This is a family.
Police officer, it's a great job. It really is. You never know what you're going to get. You never know who you're going to help.
We're forgetting what's going on outside. We're focusing on what's going on in here, and we're all family.
This idea of a family academy, connecting families to talk about relevant issues.
Unbelievable. Milford has stormed all the way back in this football game. The Warriors in the state finals! State finals! Ohio Wesleyan, here we come!
And it's up to every one of you all to keep this going and carry the torch. I hope you will do that. Thank you.
ICRC-TV.
Coffee first, then I have to get those agendas out.
Lasagna tonight, chicken tomorrow. Do we still have potatoes?
Matthew's got a baseball practice at 6.
I should really do laundry tonight.
People with jobs, with families, with someplace to be. Let's help each other by safely sharing the road. Tri-State Trails, connecting what moves us.
Back at North College Hill High School, Kyle Evans alongside Patrick Ray as we get set to start the third quarter of action here in week 2 between the North College Hill Trojans and the Middletown Christian Eagles. Something to mention, a halftime partner, is the officials came up here, talked to the scorekeeper, the clock operator in our left-hand booth, and they determined that play in the first half, that the 2-point conversion was successful. And so that makes it 8-0. North College Hill Trojans. Your takeaways from the first half?
I felt like North College Hill really, unfortunately with the turnovers, other than that, North College Hill really owned the ground in that first half. Be interesting to see what Middletown Christian does to switch up their defense, maybe add another defensive lineman up front, create more pressure into the backfield, and just make North College Hill try to run to the sidelines and then go north and south. Other than that, if you're Middletown Christian, you got to start to open up the playbook. Ground game's working to an extent, but we're getting costly holding penalties and costly delayed game penalties, bringing us back, making it harder on our offensive line out here. Be interesting what happens coming out in their first offensive possession coming out of halftime.
Arneal Carr will get set to kick it off for the Trojans, and we'll see if both teams have a new game strategy here in the second half, maybe pass the ball a little bit more, as you just mentioned. Carr will kick it away, another end-over-end kick. That'll be taken at the 30-yard line, and Middletown Christian had some good field position. It's a nice kickoff return for the Eagles, and that'll set up shop. Nice kickoff return by number 34, Carson Wells, I believe. Logan Mason in on the coverage. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Trailing 8-0.
Now it's back to 6-0. So I don't know what to believe, Kyle.
1st and 10 from the 40. They're going to go to the ground game and hand it off to, I believe, number 4. Able to pick up maybe 3 yards on the play. So going to the ground game early here in the third quarter.
New quarterback getting the plays in for the Eagles is Lee Billington. Got most of the reps at running back earlier in this game. Now he's playing under center, distributing the ball to the guys in the backfield.
Logan Mason gets the carry and tries to bounce off a couple of North College Hill defenders. Was not able to get very far. It'll bring up 3rd down and manageable for the Eagles. One of these teams is hoping to come out of week 2 500, 1 up, 1 down before they roll into week 3.
Same formation for Middletown Christian here. 1 receiver to the near side, 2 tailbacks in the backfield.
Billington under center, and he's going to hand it off and getting some space, turning the corner down the sideline, avoids a tackle, tripped up inside the 40. Nice run by number 4 for Middletown Christian, and a good play and a great run by Braylon South as you take another look at it on your screen.
Able to get to the outside, makes the defender miss, get a couple extra yards, up to about the 39-yard line for the Eagles. That's a good way to start your half.
So Middletown Christian picks up the 1st down. This drive continues. 9.5 left to play here in the third. As you mentioned, scoreboard has put 6 back up on the board. So it still remains 6-0 Trojans. As Lee Billington is the man at quarterback, and a quick handoff, and they're able to pick up maybe 2 or 3 on the play.
Logan Mason again on the handoff there. I really like what Middletown Christian's trying to do here. They moved Carson Wells up to tight end, add another blocker up front, and let Billington give the ball in the backfield, let the athletes of Middletown Christian get to the outside and up the middle, and try to just grind out yards here early in the second half.
Eagles keeping this drive alive as they looking for points. Here's Billington's going to keep it himself, still on his feet, and finally shoved down Michael McFowle, one of the few seniors on this North College Hill roster, was able to bring him down.
Officials in this game are sending number 4 for North College Hill, Jeremy Price, who had a touchdown earlier. He's a nose guard for their defense, and they sent him off for a little extracurricular activity after the play. They pushed player of Middletown Christian down. No penalty warranted, according to the officials, just a break for one play.
3rd down and about 4 for the Eagles. Billington puts his man in motion. He's actually going to keep it himself. He's got plenty of space. Tries to turn the corner, down the far sideline, and tiptoed out of bounds inside the 10. Nice block by one of his teammates.
It's a good play from Billington. Faked handoff, a little end around quarterback keeper there, and gets good yardage and able to pick up the 1st down. Eagles are putting a little bit of a drive together, Kyle.
All at the 11-yard line, so right on the doorstep of 1st and goal opportunity. 4 minutes elapsed off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Eagles gonna get up to the line.
Middletown Christian calling a timeout. Coach Wells didn't like what he was seeing. Offensive formation versus the defense on that one. Go back to the drawing board during this timeout.
So both teams will get a much-needed water break on this very humid night. Give a shout out to our camera operators tonight: Noah Anderson, Trey Capoe, Eric Johan, Cameron Wan, our producers and directors, Dean Lowry and Will Matthews. Welcome to the ICRC team. His first day was Monday, so he's jumping right in, getting his first experience of Friday night football from California. Got to talk with him at halftime. And he's under the wings of Dean Lowry, who has been doing ICRC stuff for like 6 years now. Dean's the man.
No better place to be.
Little birdie told me that ICRC is going to be at Marymount next weekend. Good old CHL battle. 1st and 10 from the 11, 7.5 to play. Man in motion for the Eagles. Billington keeps it himself again, trying to turn the edge. Flag flies. Billington's tripped up. Another flag and another flag.
Billington made it in the end zone there. He broke a tackle on the far sideline, but there's so many penalty flags, I feel like one of them is going to be against Middletown Christian and bring it back.
So as the officials sort it all out, we will await the verdict. Here's the, take a look at the replay.
It's a good play from Middletown Christian. It was the same play call we saw a couple plays ago. The Billington, just a fake pitch to one side, fakes around the other side. QB keeper gets to the edge and turns it loose. Would have been about a 15, 20-yard gain there for a touchdown if these penalties are waived off.
Well, the entire crew is standing at about the 20-yard line discussing.
Got a holding on Middletown Christian one, which has declined, and then a personal foul again against Middletown Christian for a block in the back, possibly. That'll be accepted. Should be a 15-yard penalty.
So 3 fouls, all called on the Eagles. They'll accept 1. Ball will be spotted all the way back at the 30-yard line. Just when Lee Billington thought he had the Eagles on the board. The good old dirty laundry negated that. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. See if the penalties stall this drive or if Middletown Christian's able to rev it back up and keep things going middle stages of the third quarter.
Don't be surprised if you see this same play from Wells and Billington on this one.
Billington gets up under the line of scrimmage, sends his man in motion. Billington takes it, pitches it to his right, and weaving through traffic, but nowhere to go. Taken down by Dominic Garrison, another freshman on this North College Hill roster. Now, number 4 is down for the Eagles.
It's like a really bad cramp. We talked about earlier in the broadcast, Kyle, of hydration and staying non-cramped. I'm surprised this is the first cramp we have. Clock's still rolling on the scoreboard. I don't think officials have noticed yet.
Clock continues to roll.
I think we started this down at about 6:40, and we're down to 6 minutes now. And there it is, stop at 6 minutes. Got it eventually. I'll be very interested to see where officials stop the clock at. We had an injury of an Eagle.
6:50. Are you a betting man?
Yeah, I'm 18. That'll be a no.
So we'll reset the clock to 6:50. Make sure everyone is rehydrated and ready to go.
The play clock did start, and I don't think Middletown Christian's aware of this, and most likely going to be a delayed game as the official just signaled it's under 10, and Middletown Christian's still not at the line of scrimmage. And there comes the laundry.
So another costly penalty on the Eagles. I say that about both teams tonight, not just Middletown Christian, but at some of these lower division schools, you don't have that play clock behind the back of the end zone. So you have to know what the hand signals are by the officials.
Play clock now supposed to be rolling and still not, so I'm sure the officials are getting fed up with this, probably wanting a new play clock operator. See official timeout here, and now the clock's rolling again.
So it'll be second down and long for Middletown Christian. 6.5 left to play, third quarter. Trojans on top, 6-0. See what Chris Wells draws up. Billington has it. It's weaving through space to the far side and spun down hard as he tumbled out of bounds. And another official's timeout.
I think this is actually going to be an injury timeout. Billington came down right on top of his helmet. He's struggling to get up. He's definitely going to have to come out for a play, but North College Hill athletic trainers just are attending to him now.
Take a look at it, right side of your screen. Goes down here and then rolls over on his head, as you just mentioned.
Nothing dirty about that play at all. It's just football play, and sometimes you get put in those odd scenarios where you're rolling and tumbling and got to try to keep safe, but it's unfortunate for Billington. We'll see if he's okay and can return to the game.
Well, we'll sit out this play for sure, and we'll keep our eyes on him and see if he checks back into the game. Now Middletown Christian will take a timeout.
It's their second of the half. 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in this quarter.
Well, if you're Middletown Christian right now, what are you talking about in this huddle, and why the timeout here?
I don't hate the timeout here from Coach Wells. This is obviously a huge drive in this game. You've had this entire possession building up to this point with the remaining 5 minutes and 15 seconds left on a 3rd down and about 25. They need to get all the way down to, I believe, the 7-yard line of North College Hill. So I think it'll be interesting what comes up in the playbook here. If you're Coach Wells, wouldn't be surprised if you see Billington with another quarterback rollout and possibly trying to hit a post pattern look down the field.
They're going to pitch it back, and spinning through the North College Hill defense was Logan Mason, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line. If you're Middletown Christian, do you attempt a field goal here, or are they going to try to go for it?
Their kicker during warm-ups was kicking from about the 15 with the T on the 15, excuse me, and he was drilling. The offense is on the field here. I don't know if the kicker has this type of range. We'll see what Coach Wells dials up here.
New man under center. It's number 4. They're going to pitch it back to Logan Mason. Mason going to turn the edge and get tackled down. And that'll be a turnover on down. So North College Hill will take over with 4:17 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Final score, Baden 10, DeSales 6. The Rams improved to 2-0 on the campaign.
It's a low-scoring game. I mean, last year when that game was played, it was 28 to 21, 21-18, I believe, or something like that. So I know 2 field goals were missed by DeSales early in the game, but the old alma mater going back to 2-0.
Trojans will take over from the 30. They're up by 6. Kier has it, hands it off to Bass. Bass breaking tackles. Bass at midfield. Finally taken down. Multiple flags fly.
I know we're going to have a horse collar up here on the tackle. I'm not sure what the penalty in the backfield is. Most likely holding in that situation or high-low block. Most likely those penalties will be offsetting, so that play should stand. There's a horse collar there by number 4. For Middletown Christian is having an official's timeout by the far side official on the Middletown Christian sidelines. I think he might have been just calling for the clock to stop while they deliberate what these 2 penalties are.
Seen a lot of laundry on the field tonight. Been a sloppy game by both teams. The pace of play hasn't really been consistent. As a player, does that affect you and, kind of getting in your groove?
So, I mean, at this point in the game, not too much. But early in the game when we had all those penalties, I mean, of course, you're getting a little frustrated, and some of that frustration can set in, which causes more penalties, and it just becomes a downward spiral, basically. But when you're this far into the game in the second half, you're kind of in your groove already and trying to get back in here. But more penalties on the field, just more frustration setting in for both teams.
Officials still talking at midfield. So we're going to have a false start and a personal foul horse collar tackle, and this will offset. So we'll negate the run by Bass.
I'm intrigued that they called it was an illegal formation call in the backfield, but I mean, normally that's a pre-snap penalty causing it not to count. So okay, that they're just going to replay the down here. That's what's going to happen.
So they'll spot it at the 29-yard line. Trojans trying to get set, high snap, and somehow was able to get it off in time. I believe that was number 20 that grabbed onto the football, Dominic Garrison.
His first carry of the night.
Called his name a few times tonight on the defensive side of things. Bring up second down for the Trojans. About 7 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Low snap, and he's able to be taken down. Carr couldn't hang on to the ball. It was a low snap, and he was swarmed up in the backfield.
It's Johnson on the takedown there. Again, we've called his name multiple times for this Eagles defense, and he swarms in there off the mishandle by the quarterback in the center and takes him down for a sack.
They bring up third down and long for the Trojans. So some potential good field position could be given to Middletown Christian depending on what their defense does right here. Another low snap. Carr has it, tries to spin away, and he's swarmed out across the 20-yard line. About 3 Eagles able to take him down. They bring up fourth down.
It's a dangerous punt here if you're the Trojans backed against your own end zone. This punter is going to be standing at about his own, I'd say probably 7 or 8 yard line. So it'll be interesting to see. This all comes down to the connection between the long snapper and the punter and how much practice they have put into this over the offseason and during 2 days and these past 2 weeks of practice.
Under 2 minutes left to play in the third. Low snap again, and they block it. Ball's up in the air. North College Hill will down it, and they will spin them down inside the 5-yard line. But Middletown Christian is going to get some really good field position. Take a look at it one more time.
A low snap here, bounces once. Punter still tries to get it off, and that's Johnson blocking that punt. Picked up by number 44 from North College Hill, just trying to do what he can. That's Davion Hendricks, a freshman, another freshman for this North College Hill team, and he got put in a rock and a hard place there. Not much to do with it, but hold on to it, and Middletown Christian on the doorstep of getting on the board here.
Bring up first and goal, 1.5 left to play here in the third quarter. See if the Eagles can break through. They've been here all night. They've had the opportunities, penalties, costly turnovers, everything you can imagine has negated points for Chris Wells' squad. See if they deliver right here or if North College Hill's defense is able to really lock down. They've been all good tonight. They're going to go back to the ground game, run it right up the middle, and taken down near the 5. They go to Logan Mason. Called his name a couple of times, and I think if you're at this point, if you're Middletown Christian, it's just try to pound it in for 6.
This is where your offense, if you're Coach Wells, plays, and you're inside the red zone. You have a first down available if you get to about the 4, so you're trying to just ground and pound, get up there and get another set of downs while you have it, get it to the 4 and then go into the end zone with 4 more downs from there. But ground and pound offense plays really well in this situation.
Billington out there under center. He's going to keep it himself, and he's going to be wrapped up before he was able to gain the 5-yard line.
I think that was a miscommunication between Billington and the guys in the backfield for Middletown Christian. I believe that was supposed to be a design handoff or a pitch at least, and miscommunication there for the Eagles, and Billington just had to scrap it and keep it himself.
Eagles taking a lot of time, as you mentioned earlier in this third quarter, about getting the play drawn in. Some of these smaller schools, coaches don't have the headset, so quarterback or someone else still has to run over to the sideline and get the play drawn in. They're going to pitch it back and going nowhere, trying to avoid tackles, get spun out of bounds. So the North College Hill defense locking down. That was Braylon South, who was trying to turn the edge. We've got about a second left. Or have we reached the end of the third quarter?
I think they're calling it.
And we have. There is a North College Hill Trojan down. He's back to his feet. All right, after 3, North College Hill 6, Middletown Christian 0. They're knocking on the doorstep. Fourth quarter is coming your way. You're watching Friday Night Football on ICRC-TV.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved. Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
Back at North College Hill, Kyle Evans alongside Patrick Ray and our producer, director, Dean Lowry, and Will. Wait for it, Matthews. Got a good one here, North College Hill on top 6-0, but Middletown Christian knocking on the doorstep. See if the Eagles can punch it in. Make this game a little more interesting.
A lot of football to be played here still in this fourth quarter as Middletown Christian, is going to have about a 4th and 13 or 4th and 12 to pick up the first down while they're in the red zone. It's a big play here, possibly the play of the game.
It's a 4th and goal.
Quarterback was almost like tripped up on his center's feet and unable to do anything with it. So North College Hill's going to take over on downs. I hyped that play up for nothing, Kyle.
Take a look at it one more time. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. We have lost the clock.
Be interesting to keep track of. It's the scoreboard's telling the North College Hill fans to make some noise, but there's no time up there.
1st and 10 for the Trojans. High snap. Bass has it. Bass bouncing off Middletown Christian defenders. Finally taken down. And the whistle finally blows. Turned something into nothing, right?
Yeah, it's a scrap play there, high snap. Able to take control of it himself and breaks about 4 tackles on his way. Getting about 5 yards, Kyle. I think he probably ran about 30 yards on that play, just pick up 5.
Got the clock back up and running. 10.5 left to play in the 4th. Still just a 1-score game between the Eagles and Trojans. Next week, North College Hill going to travel to Cincinnati Country Day. Them and Roger Bacon won the Scarlet and Gray divisions here in the MDC Conference. So definitely going to be a challenge for the Trojans next week on the road. North College Hill back to the ground game. Out at the 40, trying to weave his way through traffic, and he's finally tripped up.
Number 9, I believe, under center there for the Trojans. That's Sincere Cobb, one of the only seniors on this roster for the Trojans. Just a simple QB sneak off to the left side there, breaks 1 tackle at the line of scrimmage, and he's off to the races.
The Trojans getting into Eagles territory very quickly. approach. 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Trojans on top by a touchdown. A little miscommunication, and somehow they turned something into nothing again as they dive forward to the 35-yard line. That was number 9 on the play. Nasir Cobb, you just called his name.
Almost the same play, the opposite side there. I believe there was a little miscommunication on the blocking for North College Hill, only resulting in a game of 4. But for North College Hill here and staff and company, you're really trying to drain out the clock and just suck the life out of Middletown Christian here and just give them no chance to do anything.
Second down and 5. And the Trojans will burn their first timeout. 8:20 left to play here in the fourth. It's a one-score game. David Poole and company in the huddle, going over some instructions. It's anybody's game right now at this point. It's only a one-score game.
It's true, and if you're Middletown Christian, you obviously need to get the ball back to score here with how North College Hill's playing it. But you only have one timeout left, and depending on how this drive goes for North College Hill, you're second down here, about 7 or 8 to go. You're going to need a play here to break off and get another first down to keep that clock moving and drain this energy out of this Middletown Christian team.
On the flip side of that, you definitely need to be smart with the football. Be aware of your passing selections, your running selections, any of that. We've seen that cost both teams tonight. That's why it's only a 6-point game.
Wouldn't be surprised if North College Hill keeps the ball on the ground. They go to the air.
They go to number 1, Montez Samuels, and Eagles are able to take him down. It's going to bring up third down and manageable.
Trojans players down.
Another official's timeout, probably another cramp. Well, broadcasters included. We're hoping that next week when we roll into week 3 that the temperatures are starting to feel a little more like fall. But
see what happens. It's Ohio. You never know what to expect.
That's what everyone says about the weather. But it's true. We'll step aside and be back after this.
That leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved. Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
Back at North College Hill.
On air or on.
Number 1, Montez Samuels back to his feet, being helped off by the training staff. So good to see him back up. So critical third down coming up for the Eagles defense. As you just mentioned, if North College Hill could pick up the first down and continue the momentum, continue the drive Still too early, though, if you're David Poole and company to start thinking about eating up clock. Thinking about finding the back of the end zone right here, try to make it a 2-score game.
Completely agree with you, and all starts picking up this first down here.
Carr going to get slammed down the backfield. That wasn't Carr. That was number 9. Nasir Cobb. So he was taken down, and that'll take North College Hill out of field goal range. And Trojans going to keep their offense on the field. As we dip under 8 minutes left to play here in the fourth.
Looks like they're discussing, the coaching staff at least, trying to punt this ball and play the field position game, but Coach Cobb insisting that to keep the offense on the field.
High snap over the head of Bass, and Bass is able to finally hang on to it before he gets blasted at the 40-yard line.
He's slow to get up.
Now he is back to his feet.
Julian Johnson comes in on his high horse, forcing pressure for Bass, and a swarm of Eagles defenders come in, bringing Bass down for a turnover on downs and about a 15-yard sack on all considered.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles. Ball's at the 41-yard line. Keep in mind, Middletown Christian only has 1 timeout in their back pocket. North College Hill has 2. Eagles go back to the ground game, but nothing happening. Stood up at the line of scrimmage by number 57, Jelon Lockwood.
Middletown Christian just burned their last time out.
So the Eagles are now out of timeouts. North College Hill has 2. Still have 7 minutes left to play. You like that timeout called right there, or do you think you should keep that one in your back pocket in this 1-scored game?
I think we should probably keep that one in our back pocket there, and just in case anything happens later in this game, I mean, Coach Wells and your offense, knowing what you guys do and what your fundamentals are, it's ground and pound all day, trying to knock the dude across from your butt, and now you burned your last time out, and it's just under 7 minutes to play with 6:59 left in this fourth quarter, and you need a score. Basically puts the ball in North College Hill's hand, and if you give the ball back to them, it's basically over. You have no way to stop them other than your defense and trying to force a turnover.
So both teams take a breather. They're all regroup. Comets just went up on Oak Hills 14-7 in that game. Sycamore was leading Fairfield late stages of the third quarter. A little bit of a surprise right there.
Middletown's up big against Coleraine.
Billington pitching it to the outside. Able to gain some chunk yardage. Finally brought down on the play by number 2, Michael McFowle. So it'll bring up 3rd down and short. Say 3rd down and 2 for the Eagles. With 6.5 left to play. All you need is a touchdown and a successful extra point or a 2-point conversion.
Been mentioning and opening up the playbook for Middletown Christian all night. I don't think they're going to do it here. I think they're going to stick on the ground, probably go back to that fake pitch play that they were working on earlier with Billington in the backfield, and he's under center at quarterback now.
Billington's going to pitch it to his running back, and he's going to get swarmed and swallowed up for a loss of about 7 or 8, we'll say, and it's going to bring up 4th down and we'll call it. We'll be nice and call it 11. 5:42 left. So Eagles going to bring out their punt team.
I think that's a smart play here from Coach Wells. Just under 5:30 against this North College Hill team, which hasn't been able to do much in this second half on offense. Trying to play the field position game, hopefully get a good punt off and flip fields. Leave it up to your defense.
Nice spiral kick. It's taken at the 20, and he's off and running to midfield before he gets run out of bounds near midfield. So about a 20-yard punt return for the Trojans will set them up in good field position. Just under 5 minutes left to play here in the 4th.
Princeton just got on the board against Lakota West, leading that one 6-3 in the early stages of the 3rd quarter. That's probably the game of the week here, and it's a low-scoring one, which
Aviators are up 10 on Fairfield in the 4th, 24-14. Lebanon Warriors, actually that's not Lebanon. Marymount Warriors are on top of Norwood Indians, 21-7. 1st and 10 for the Trojans. They're up 6. Looking to bleed some clock. The ball's loose on the field. North College Hill coughs it up. Middletown Christian has it. I think that's why you probably need to keep that timeout in your back pocket, because something like this could have happened, and it does. Take a look at the replay.
It's a missed exchange, and the ball comes out probably on the hit for Middletown Christian. And number 17 for Middletown Christian, middle linebacker Justice Dudley, a junior, loses about 5 yards trying to get to the edge, but it's a big change of momentum for this Middletown Christian team.
So the Eagles get the turnover that they've been looking for late stages of the 4th quarter. Just trying to see if they can capitalize on the turnover. Neither team's been able to do that tonight. And if we don't have that touchdown back in the 1st quarter, we're still sitting here at goose eggs. But it's 6-0 North College Hill. Eagles barely able to get one of their guys off the field. Got to be aware of the play clock. Logan Mason's going to keep it. And he's trying to spin away from number 45 of North College Hill. That was Kevontae Whitaker. Bring up 2nd down, and we'll call it 10. Clock continues to roll. It's the Trojans' friend right now and the Middletown Christians' enemy.
Still got a lot of time left to play, but like we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Kyle, it's taken Middletown Christian a good amount of time and valuable time to get that play call in and get it up to the line of scrimmage to get a playoff.
Snap goes right through the hands of the Eagles, and they're able to fall on it. That was Braylon South, the 5'10" sophomore. Just watch that one go right through his hands. Actually didn't even go to the quarterback in that situation, which was Carson Wells. Good thing South was positioned where he was. It's 3rd down and long. Clock continues to roll. 3.5 left to play in the 4th.
This is a drive killer for Middletown Christian. This is exactly what you need. What you needed, you got your fumble recovery. Now you're trying to make something happen on offense, and you've lost about 12 yards from your original starting position.
Logan Mason, the man in motion, he gets set. And North College Hill brings the heat. Watch him get off the left side of the screen, off the left side of the line, I should say. So quick, just went right through him.
Number 45, Cavante Whitaker, a freshman defensive lineman. A lot of people would probably consider him undersized, but his get-off makes up for it. He's the first in there for the Trojans.
Peyton Brown back to kick it away with 2:40 remaining. Brown bobbles it, and he gets sacked at the 10.
Puts North College Hill on the doorstep to put this game on ice.
So it'll set up 1st and goal for the Trojans with 2.5 left to play. Miscommunication on the snap. Said it all night. Special teams can haunt you. It's haunted both teams tonight. Miscommunication at the line. Ball's going to go back to about the 15-yard line.
Almost like a separation of the seas there for North College Hill, just letting Middletown Christian dive right in and try to make a play on the ball, and they did, resulting in a sack.
Trojans in no hurry. Bass bouncing to the outside, bouncing his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Actually, Nasir Cobb rumbles home. And it's 12-0 North College Hill.
Here comes the replay. Cobb's had 2 big runs in this one. Broken play, scrambles off to the left, cuts it back in, and reaches for the pylon for the score.
Another look at it from the end zone cam. Eric Johansson running that camera. Just able to break it over the plane.
He split the pylon with his arms. That's pretty impressive, Nasir.
Trojans are going to go for 2. And the extra 2-point conversion is successful.
That was Jeremy Price, who scored our touchdown earlier in the game, number 4. The big fella running back for the Trojans gets the Trojans lead to 2 scores.
So North College Hill, minute 40 away from improving to 1-1. They'll have a big challenge next week when they go on the road to take on Cincinnati Country Day. Trojans will get set to kick it away. In a game of costly mistakes, costly turnovers. And in the end, North College Hill just prevailed. A little squib kick. Eagles will pick it up at the 35. And he's Logan Mason trying to dance his way through some defenders. He was taken down by Arneal Carr, playing both sides of the ball tonight.
There's also the kicker on that.
So it'll be Eagles football. Just over a minute remaining here in the fourth.
I believe we had North College Hill call a timeout there. Even though the clock was stopped, so more time for North College Hill defensive coordinator and staff to relay the message, nothing behind them, and just keep everybody in front, don't let anybody loose.
Middletown Christian next week, they're going to take on Jefferson Township. Of course, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Middletown Christian not affiliated with the OHSAA. They are a club team using the high school name. Don't see that a whole lot around here in Ohio, but they hung around as long as they could tonight, but in the end, it's North College Hill that's going to pick up their first win of the season on their home field. Got to feel pretty good for the young men out there to pick up the W on your first game of the first home game of the season. And as I mentioned earlier, they're not back home until September 22nd.
Along the way stint for North College Hill. We'll see what they can do in the remaining part of their schedule.
Here's a bomb down the field and almost hooking up with Logan Mason.
It was number 7 on the throw, and that's the first pass Middletown Christian's thrown all game.
Quintez Campbell.
He's got an arm on him.
I'm thinking right now, where was he at?
Coach Wells is digging deep into his duffel bag of weapons, seeing what he can do, and dial up with 1:26 remaining in this ball game.
We're going to go back to him. Hit hard near midfield. Kevon Murphy able to bring him to the ground as we approach the final 70 seconds of regulation here in North College Hill.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Even if this was a one-score game for Middletown Christian, which it's not, it takes so long for Middletown Christian to relay that play in to their guys. Probably sitting around 14 seconds or so to get that play in, and if you're in a one-score ball game here and need a score, that's crucial time for your guys.
2nd and 10, Campbell gonna heave it down the field and intercepted. Markel Bass with the pick, and Markel Bass is gonna take it all the way to the house for the Trojans. Touchdown, North College Hill. Exclamation point, Trojans.
That's a way to cap off the game. I mean, wasn't a bad call from Coach Wells there, trying to just lay it up there for a jump ball and see if one of his guys can come down here. Here you see the replay.
But look at Markel Bass. He's all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Cutting all the way across the field, getting a couple blockers from his Trojan teammates, and all the way in, as you see in the end zone cam here, to put this game on ice. Markel Bass, a senior on this Trojan team. I'm sure that'll be one of his senior highlights of the year as an early start to this year, but he's had a very good game tonight for North College Hill.
A week ago, North College Hill lost 21-6. Tonight, they've scored 20, trying to make it 22 on the two-point attempt.
See big Jeremy Price in there again. It's probably going to go to him on the run.
He's going to walk in for the two-point conversion.
got Laundry on the field, though. That was Nasir Cobb on the end around quarterback keeper reaching for the pylon.
Take a look at Bass on the sideline, waiting for the waning seconds to tick off this clock so him and his young men can celebrate their first win of the season. As for now, the 2-point conversion stands. We'll see what the officials say. Had a lot of conversations between the Zebras tonight.
Holding on North College Hill, bringing it back 10 yards, and they're going to need to replay that. So take the 2 points off the scoreboard and see if they can try it again.
18 seconds away. Probably feels like an eternity being down there on the sideline when you're just waiting for a game to end. The whistles just keep blowing. You're ready to celebrate, especially your first win of the season. It's always nice to get that one off your back.
All you want to do is go celebrate with your guys, and costly penalties and having to replay a 2-point conversion with 18 seconds left on the clock. It'll take some time to set everything up and take another stab at it.
So they'll back them up. We'll reset. And the final score will be 20-0. Looks like the officials.
That should have been an untimed down. We should still be at 18 seconds with the 2-point conversion. I don't think the officials are going to say anything, and North College Hill is going to come out here victorious.
So the final score, North College Hill victorious over the Middletown Christian Eagles by a final score of 20-0. A game that had everything you can imagine, costly turnovers, momentum, and right down to the wire. It was a great game. Not that long ago, the scoreboard still read 6-0, but a hard-fought victory for North College Hill as these young men go through the handshake line. Once again, our final score, North College Hill 20 and Middletown Christian 0. From our broadcast partner, Patrick Ray, our producer, director, Dean Lowry, and Will, Kyle Evans saying so long and good night from North College Hill. You've been watching ICRC-TV.